All right, bet. We are back. Virtual episode 116. This is the radio show about nothing, podcast about nothing. We are back. Listen, stop what you're doing. Like, comment, subscribe. We are back. Episode 115, draft coverage, playoff coverage. But talk to him, Rock.
Yes, sir. Welcome back. Welcome back. We got the virtual set up. This is why we did it, because it's like the weeks like this is like we got a playoff game every night. The draft was Thursday night. It was like we don't want to pie Wednesday. The draft come Thursday and we wrong about everything. So it's
Right, yeah,
like
literally.
this works out perfectly. It is midnight. So all my hustlers out there, salute. You feel me?
Facts.
Like Ish said, please like, subscribe, and comment. And thank you for watching. So let's get straight into it, Ish. What just happened? My
I'll
my
just start
feelings are hurt. My feelings
I'm
are
gonna
hurt, bro.
start. I'm gonna let you do Sheduer, so I'm gonna do just the Patriots side. Just the draft as a Patriots fan is like growing up in a household that really doesn't think Christmas is for kids. It's like oh yeah, every Christmas is like, man, can't wait to get a new backpack. Like it's no Nintendo's under that tree. It's like every single year it's like, wow, we could go get some offensive talent. It was like, no, let's just pick a lineman. Like every time, bro. It's just I all I can do is accept this.
I understand. I would be frustrated because if I'm the Patriots, I like, and I know this isn't as important as it is for basketball, like they'll get asses in seats, but
Mhm.
still with the Patriots, they have been so boring since Brady left. Like
Yeah.
the Cam year with the offense was horrific because of the receivers, and like Cam was out of his prime. Then you had the Mac Jones year. That was okay, but not fun. And then the past 2 years have just been boring to watch. So I think they should have drafted Ashton Genty like you wanted them to. None of the big boards had them doing that, so I didn't think they would. But I absolutely thought that was the right pick. Now I hear a lot of people, shout out to Mina Kimes, we love you. She says like don't draft the running back until you draft the offensive lineman. It's plenty of offensive linemen in this draft. Like
It's a lot.
tr- trade up in the second round, draft two offensive linemen in the second round or the third round, and you can build a decent offensive line and get a dynamic playmaker for your offense. So I completely understand. I completely
Yeah,
understand.
1000%. But Shador Sanders, Jackson Dart, what is going on right now?
Look, man. Now you know I want to go.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no facts.
you know I want to go,
Listen,
but
death taxes and a Caucasian Giants quarterback.
like you, I can't call it, man. I'm surprised because I watched the games.
Mm,
So from this perspective, I'm thinking like, is is this more so of a his interview process? Did he do something wrong? Did he say something wrong? Like, I don't understand how you watch him play football last year and the year before and think Jackson Dart is better than him, because I watched Jackson Dart. I've watched
he's
the
trash.
highlights. I've listened to the podcast. I've done all of the things to do my research on Jackson Dart and not just be talking. He's not better than Shador. He's not. He's more mobile, but like, what is a 4.6 40 in this today's NFL? Like,
Yeah,
he's
he's Drew
not
Lock.
Lamar. He's
He's
not
Drew
Josh
Lock.
Allen.
Yeah.
You
He's
feel
like one
me?
of those quarterbacks who's like mobile in theory until you have to outrun someone else. Like,
Exactly. Like in my eyes, he's no more mobile than like a CJ Stroud really is. It's like
yeah,
he's a more willing runner than CJ Stroud, but it's not like he has eye-popping screen or just uncanny feel for the ball as a ball carrier. So
right.
I don't understand what the Giants were looking at in their assessment other than what we know the Giants to look at when they look at quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Shador was in a pro style offense for 2 years where he had to make the read, where he had to make the decision. Jackson Dart was in a system where he was college football is set up in a way where sometimes your offensive coordinator is so good and the coverages are so basic because it's still amateur football as dominant of a TV product as it is. It's still amateur football. So The coverages are basic, which means I can run a play and know this play is going to be open right here. And if this play is not going to be open right here, then it's open right there. And if it's not, then you take off running. And that is how Jackson Dart played quarterback for much of his college career, including last year. And lastly, my point on Jackson Dart is in all of the games that mattered, he was bad.
Played terrible.
In all of the games and all of the moments you needed Sheduer to rise to the occasion, he did. You never walked out of a Colorado game like they lost that game of Sheduer because of Sheduer, or that last possession Sheduer didn't come through. Like, I truly do not understand what the Giants were thinking, but the bigger story for me is the Steelers. Like, I understand the Giants are going to do what the Giants are going to do because that owner is that owner. But the Steelers drafting a defensive tackle instead of Sheduer is asinine. So I've been talking, you attack the Steelers and tell me what you felt when they skipped over that.
What's so funny about the draft is like, it's supposed to be like, new beginnings, like people being introduced, superstars coming into the league. But for so many of these teams, it's just doing the same thing that you've been doing the entire time. Like this, no one looked at the Steelers and thought, hey, they need help up front on defense. Nobody thought that. You let two quarterbacks walk out the door. One stayed in your conference. When Justin Fields, who people believed on that team could win games and was winning games with that team already. You bring in a high-priced wide receiver and have no quarterback to throw it to, like it's Mason Rudolph. It just, listen, Mike Tomlin is on very thin ice, skater's ice. Mike Tomlin is on because that division is going to be better. Browns are going to be better. Ravens are going to be better. They had a great draft pick with Malachi Starks. Like, they're going to have competition throughout their division. And it's been said a million times, but it doesn't matter who is on the team if the quarterback's going to be bad. And if you're going to have a bad quarterback like the Steelers have had for the last decade or since whenever Big Ben stopped playing, they're just not going to have a chance.
Agree. You're, like you said, Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson. What are we doing? At the end of the day, even if you think, excuse me, you don't think this. The Steelers don't have a second-round draft pick.
Yeah.
So
what are they doing?
Like, what are you doing? Like an interior defensive lineman. And the craziest part is, bro, they drafted DK.
Yeah.
I mean, drafted. They signed DK. They traded for DK. So you got two all-pro caliber receivers. You have a solid tight end, a running game, and you have Mason Rudolph as your quarterback in a division with Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and maybe Sheduer Sanders. With the Browns having the top pick in the or one of the top picks in the second round. So I really don't understand what the scouts have been looking at with Sheduer, just because from what I've seen, the Mel Kipers of the world, the Joe Klotz of the world, the Bucky Books of the world, the people that like Sheduer have been ecstatic about him, have been like, Mel Kiper called him a potential Hall of Famer. Like, I don't know if I would go that far yet just because he hasn't played it down. But the thing I love about intangibles, and you know that I love this about quarterbacks, which is why we both love Jalen Hurts so much, is the intangibles. There was no moment that was ever too big for Sheduer. Sheduer inherited a 1-10 Colorado program, and 2 years later they won 9 games and was in a bowl game and should have won 10 games. I still remember that Kansas State game from that defensive coordinator. But but Sheduer was the reason that Colorado was who they were. Sheduer was the reason for the success this year. As good as Travis Hunter was, and shout out to Travis, we'll get to that Jacksonville trade up in a minute, but as good as Travis was, Sheduer was the reason and the driving force behind Colorado being that well. He did it behind a bad offensive line and no run game. And a team with a run game and a solid offensive line was like, and 2 all-pro receivers was like, man, let's draft the defensive tackle. It's horrific, and it makes absolutely no sense.
Especially a team that looks like they want to compete now with TJ Watt aging, with you having to get rid of George Pickens next year possibly. Like, this team isn't going to be together for the next couple of years for you to just, keep throwing around. But you did mention Travis Hunter. I do just want to hit like the top 5 picks in the draft just to make sure we got him out the way. Cam Moore to Tennessee.
Yes.
Travis Hunter traded up to Jacksonville. He's going to play corner and wide receiver. That's crazy. Abdul Carter to the Giants. I mean, that's going to be crazy. That's one of the best defense lines in the league. Will Campbell, as aforementioned, short arm tackle Will Campbell. And Mason Graham to the Browns, who apparently was handpicked by Myles Garrett. So that's more aura for you.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Well, my first reaction to that, I just want to say congratulations to Cam Moore, the black quarterback going first in the draft. It's always something to congratulate.
Listen,
So
we knew one of them was gonna get the
yes,
get the
get the nod.
treatment. So
And he's well deserved, and that boy's cold. My favorite throw of last year belongs to Cam Moore, that rollout left against Florida, where he threw the guy 30 yards on a rope in the back of the end zone.
yeah,
That's one of the best throws I've ever seen, bro. Like
he's
he's
talented
cold,
for sure.
talented for sure. But Cleveland, that move confused me
Right.
because Cleveland's defense is good. That's the best part of their team. And their front four is good. And you kept the best defensive lineman in football than Myles Garrett with that large contract this offseason. So why do you think they made this move?
I think you're seeing this with Cleveland, and you saw it with the Giants. It's a copycat league. They are looking at teams that trying to compete that don't have superstar QBs like the Browns. Pending the quarterback situation, you need front four who are going to dominate.
Yeah.
You need that front four to win games for you now. And you're seeing teams, we'll talk about Atlanta in a second, but I think this is what that was, where Myles Garrett said, hey, listen, that guy is going to be special on the D line. And I know he'll be even more special next to me. So
Yeah.
I think that's what you're seeing there too.
I get that. And what you said isn't wrong, but the question is for me is why not go best player available when he still affects your defense? Because you're right. It's a copycat lead. They're in a division with two of the four best quarterbacks in the league, and the other two best quarterbacks are in their division. So, well, in the conference, excuse me. So I understand your point about the pass rush, but Travis Hunter is such a transcendent talent. I'm like, why would you not draft him?
Right.
And then, if you really wanted to go defensive lineman, why didn't you go with the best defensive lineman in the draft, and Abdul Carter? Because in my estimate, two great edge rushers is better than one. And if you have a young edge rusher to be ushered in as Myles Garrett is being ushered out in the later years of his career in the next 4 or 5 years, that sets you up perfect to have 15 years or 20 straight years of great defensive lineman play. So that's the perspective I'm looking at. It's like, sure, if you want to say it's a copycat league and we're going defensive lineman, makes sense. But why not get the best defensive lineman in the draft?
I would definitely, wonder if Myles Garrett input put a lot into that, because right now of course we do know they were going D lineman, but they did specifically mention like he was handpicked by him. And I do kind of like, since they are running a 4-3 in Cleveland, he's going to be on the field every single play. And, combining like Myles Garrett, of course he's super strong, but speed, athleticism, his ability to push the pocket, having a DT that's going to take up that step up lane is super, super valuable for someone who's going to rush like Myles Garrett. So I hope it works out for him. But again, Cleveland's one of those teams where it's like, man, you just know you're going to make a bad decision eventually. So this might have been it, and we just don't know yet, because it's like,
agreed.
Yeah.
All right. And then lastly, before I get to two quick teams, Travis, what are you expecting from him? He's finally in the league. Travis Hunter was so good. It was like they didn't even really talk about him during the draft process. Like, it was just like a foregone conclusion. He was the second pick in the draft, however it happened. What are you expecting from him playing both sides of the ball?
Travis Hunter, as long as he stays healthy, will be the face of the NFL in a couple years, if not next year. I think playing where he's gonna play is super important, because we talked about fit, because we want him to play both sides of the ball. Jacksonville needs a corner so bad, but they also need a wide receiver too. So if Travis is going to get the opportunity to play CB1, wide receiver 2 in short stints, short packages, third down offense, stuff like that, he can really help, because BTJ, Brian Thomas Jr. is real. He is a number one wide receiver.
For sure.
And with Travis Hunter next to him just being his, 2 or 1B, I think he can raise the ceiling a lot for this. I like this for the Jags, simply because, man, they just got, they just got a lot of holes. Like, they had a lot of stuff they need done. So picking the one player who's going to play both sides of the ball, I don't mind trading up for that.
Tyson Campbell is their starting corner right now. Travis Hunter on the other side of that, along with playing wide receiver. I love that move from Jacksonville. I love when bad teams are aggressive and getting a great player. I don't
Yeah,
really care if your offensive line isn't great. I don't really care if your secondary isn't great. Go get the best player
right.
available and just build a team. And that's what
Facts.
Jacksonville looks like they're trying to do because you're still hoping Trevor pans out, right?
Yeah,
We're
you
not
had
we're
to.
not off of Trevor, right?
Yeah,
You
no,
gave
listen, you
him
paid him.
200 and some. There you go. You paid him. So we can't be off of Trevor. So if we add another weapon, they have a tight end, they have ETN back there. Now you have two great receivers, a tight end, a great running back. We build your offensive line in the later rounds of the draft and with the pieces we have now. And then he's so good. We got the best corner in the draft too. So like,
Exactly. Literally.
what a luxury. What a
Yeah.
luxury. So you got two players in one, and not the Isaiah Simmons where I kind of can play safety and kind of can play linebacker. Like
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
actually going to be one of the best receivers in the league and one of the best corners in the league. So
Exactly.
unicorn. I'm expecting great things. Do you think he's full-time defense or full-time offense?
I think, and I was struggling with this before the draft because I really wanted the Patriots to draft him, but and I still feel like if he was there, he probably does end up with us. But I feel like he's going to split both. I feel like he's going to play a large amount of snaps on probably both sides of the ball, but I think he's going to play impact plays on offense, and he's going to play most of the series on defense, depending on definitely depending on the matchup. But he has to play corner. He has to play corner.
I actually think no one knows yet.
Yeah.
I think this will be figured out in training camp when the Jags get into the heat of the summer and the bulk of their practice is the hard dog days. That is when I believe they'll set the tone for Travis. Like, all right, we gonna run you both ways in practice. Like this is a real game. Now, something I do want the audience to keep in mind, please subscribe, is the NFL game is much slower than the college game.
A lot slower.
Whereas the college game is running a play every 10 to 18 seconds, the NFL game is running a play every 22 to 35 seconds. Right. So he's going to have more time in between plays. And just naturally, the NFL game is just a little bit faster. So, and what I mean is on a play-by-play basis, the plays are faster. So he's going to have quicker things to react to, and he's going to be able to get from play to play quicker with more rest in between. So a guy that's been doing this at a high level his entire life, I expect to continue. I think it is 80% of the offensive snaps and 100% of the defensive snaps. Every 2-minute drill, every third down, and then he'll be out on some first downs, some second drives of the second possessions of the games and stuff like that. But he'll play about 80% of offensive snaps, in my opinion.
No, I definitely agree. Now, I want to ask you about a couple of your teams. So, first, the home team, Dirty Bird. 2 D linemen in this draft, in this first round. Can we say finally? I mean, listen, it might not be what we want. It's always on time. Like,
where's Stunner with the chains when you need them? You feel me? Like,
like, listen, it was a. If you're a Falcons fan, this is probably the most optimistic Falcons fans will enter a season in a long time. You got your quarterback, you got your running back, you got your wide receiver, offensive set, and you got 2 dogs on defense, and you still have best safety in the league.
Yes.
So they are looking good. What do you think?
I would like to go see them get Isaiah Bond or another receiver that they like out of the draft to add to the receiving course, because where I think it is good, I do think it can still improve. Or if you want to be under center a lot, which Zach Taylor likes to do under center pistol, go to the Ravens 8 out of the 2 tight end set last year. Go get another tight end. There's a lot of tight ends in this draft. But first round, dude, this is the best thing the Falcons have done since trade up for Julio. And I'm not joking. No hyperbole. This is the best thing they have done in their draft since they traded up for Julio. Yeah. This is how you build a dominant defense. I kept hearing while I was watching draft coverage that this isn't a draft of stars, but it's a draft of starters. But I do believe both of the guys that they drafted, James Pierce and my boy from Georgia, I know James Carter, they are able to be perennial Pro Bowl players if they reach their full potential.
Right.
Now, remains to be seen. But if they reach their full potential, then Falcons got an A++ in this draft. Trading back up, getting 2 defensive linemen, and now you can go, like I said, tight end, receiver, or you can go secondary because they do need some corners. It's a couple corners left on the board that they can get in the second round. I love this move from the Falcons. Now, I know where you was going next. Ravens with the Malachi Starks. You know we love Georgia players, so Falcons getting a Georgia player, Ravens getting a Georgia player. You know I'm happy. How did you feel about that?
I love the thought process behind it. It was like, man, Kyle Hamilton's the best defensive player in the league. Let's go get one more. Like last year, and especially you would notice because you watched so many Ravens games. The story of the season was, man, Kyle Hamilton is so good, but if we play him here, the rest of the team can't play without him. So we play him here. So he was like, all right, let's just get one more. We got to give Kyle Hamilton the ability to be wherever, and giving him another safety who can be wherever is going to help him so much. The Baltimore Ravens secondary is going to be insane, which you need in a division that just double down on wide receiver. You just double down on Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So you go get another safety. You still have what's the corner's name?
Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins.
You still have Nate Wiggins. You still have Marlon Humphrey. So really tooling up on defense. Right there, it's really hard because you win so many games. You're not going to get a superstar on offensive side of the ball. So I like going Malachi Stark, someone who can be a star on defense.
Completely agree, man. What I'm happy about is they addressed their main need. Because if we're being honest, if the Ravens didn't have a draft pick in this draft, we would be picking them to win the division and be a top 4, top 5 seed. Exactly. So you addressed the only problem I thought they had on their team. I like the 3 corners they're going to roll out this year. I love the safeties now. I like the interior linebackers. We're going to get Simpson back off injury. The defensive line is good. I believe they'll draft one or two defensive linemen in this draft to add to the roster. And offensively, I would like them to go get a big body receiver in the 3rd or 4th round. But other than that, their offense is going to be great. You got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry running it. So this move was so smart because, like Ish said, it pulls Kyle Hamilton back down into the box. And that is how the Ravens wanted to play last year, but their defense was struggling in the beginning of the season because they did not have a great safety with great instincts as playing free safety in the back end. So Kyle Hamilton was in the box. They run a base cover 3, so usually you're going to have 8 in the box or 7 in the box, and that means you're going to have a single high safety, which the Ravens play a lot.
Right.
Now you have Malachi Starks that can be that single high safety. He is a ball hawk. He has some of the best instincts in this draft, and his combine and his pro day wasn't the greatest, so I think that's why his stock fell. But this is one of the best players in this draft, and I don't think people will know that until 2-3 years from now. Kind of how everybody knew Kyle Hamilton was going to be really good, but they didn't know how good he was until about midway through last year. So I think this is one of those pieces, and I agree with Ish. They just got another Kyle Hamilton.
Listen, shout out Kyle Hamilton in the Madden leagues, Madden legend for sure. But like you said, Malachi Starks, ball hawk, and we mentioned him coming out of UGA. Of course, we'll throw a little hometown bias in there. UGA, SEC, he has seen top end level speed his entire career.
Exactly.
The best wide receivers, the best quarterbacks, the best schemes. So he is someone that you are going to, they are in a big boy division in the AFC North. This is a big dog pick, pun intended.
You feel me? All right, let's jump. That's the draft. We'll touch more on that as next week when we record because Sheduer get drafted, hopefully.
Yeah,
and Shiloh too.
They said they are packaged. That's why.
You feel me? Let's go straight to OKC Memphis, one of the largest comebacks in NBA history. They were down 51-77 at halftime and came back and won the game to take a 3-0 series lead. Yeah. Now, Ish, I saw your tweet. I'm giving you the floor before we say anything about that game. Lou Dort, take it away.
Yeah, listen, I ain't gonna lie. What's that video they made about King Ball? Like, some people gotta be gone for us to move forward as a collective. Like, and I really mean this bottom of my heart. Like, listen, we've seen Draymond punch niggas. Like, Ron Artest ran into the crowd. Like, Charles Barkley don't like women from San Antonio. Like, there's so many people that have came to the game and left a bad taste on it. Lou Dort got it. Like, somebody, I'm telling you, somebody go do something to Lou Dort on the court, bro. Like, the way Lou Dort be hurting people, like if Brandon Ingram first game he saw Lou Dort next season crashed on him, nobody could tell him that he's wrong. Like, the way he plays, bro. Listen, the game would be better without Lou Dort. For him to hurt Ja right there, like, yo, listen, I'm glad the stuff y'all be saying about Ja not true. Because if they were true, he would have got up and did something to Lou Dort. Like, right
exactly.
Because
exactly.
I mean, just listen. I hate Lou Dort, but
inexcusable play.
Inexcusable play, and we hooped together. If it wasn't an NBA game, they would for sure be squabbling with Lou Dort.
Yes,
1,000,000%. Like, that's
no
an
question.
instant fight almost up until college. Like, you get inexcusable completely. But aside from Lou Dort, the Thunder, shout out Reggie, of course, because Reggie doesn't think we talk about the Thunder enough. But
always shout
they
out Reggie.
found new ways to blow you out. Like, it's the reverse blowout. It's like, how many points could we let them get before we start coming?
They spotted them niggas. They spotted them niggas at halftime.
It makes it a reverse blowout, bro. Like, they won by 6. It felt like they beat them by 25 at the end of that game. OKC is psychologically abusing Memphis at this point.
I completely agree, man. OKC is a great basketball team, and the problem that OKC is having is they ran through the regular season and no one paid attention to them because they don't got Steph Curry or LeBron James on their team. Mm-hmm. Now we in the first round series, and everybody's looking at the West. Well, it's like the first 7 teams are contenders, and Memphis don't matter. Right. So now they whooping Memphis ass, and no one cares because they like Memphis suck anyway.
Yeah, literally.
So no one's gonna care until they beat the Clippers. But I'm here to tell y'all, man, OKC is good, bro. Yeah, they are great.
Juggernaut.
They're doing this with Shea shooting worse than he has all season.
10 for 26 tonight.
10 for 26 tonight. Still had 30, but 10 for 26 tonight. So, and look, I want y'all to know something. As y'all start coming on the pod, y'all watching overseas and watching in other states, so we're going to start inviting y'all on the pod. Let me tell y'all something about me. I don't care about efficiency that much. I'm one of them guys that's like, you had 34 and you won the game?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because my thing is I'd rather Shea shoot the ball than Alex Caruso.
1,000%.
I'd rather Shea find that bitch than swing that bitch to Caruso. I don't.
Yeah, they want that too.
You feel me? I'd rather you just put the pressure on the defense and continue to shoot. So I ain't the efficiency king like y'all be online. So offensively, OKC is what they is. Shea will get it together. J-Dub and Chet have been incredible, but defensively is why they might win this championship. Yeah. They can put out a 5-man lineup for minute 1 to minute 48 that is going to guard like one of the best 5 defenses in basketball. And I don't know if it's a team in the playoffs left that can do that other than maybe Cleveland.
Yeah.
I mean, minute 1 to minute 45 is no more than minute 48. Sorry. There's no one on the court for you to attack. It's no switch you looking for. You just got to hoop. And that's why they're so hard to beat, because it's no really gimmicky way to do it. You just got to have a really good sets that get you easy buckets off pin downs, off screen and rolls and things of that nature, or you just got to go get it. You just got to want it more. And that's why you like the Clippers so much.
Yeah. Literally 1,000%. We're gonna definitely hit the Clippers in a second because they played tonight. But just to talk about OKC's defense, it's like that, like especially watching the Memphis versus the first couple of games, was like that a really, really good AAU team. Like, you were watching Memphis, like how many people on the court for Memphis would be in the rotation for OKC? Like maybe 2, like a couple of them here or there, like maybe 3 or 4 in the starting 5, but the rest of them, like Scottie Pippen Jr. not getting minutes on OKC. Like, they are so much better, and they just strangle you for stretches like that. And this is why I love playoff basketball so much. And it's a testament to why someone like Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, Kobe, all these great playoff scorers have had success, is because like eventually you get to teams where it won't be open shots. Like everyone knows what you're running, where you're running to, and how you're gonna run it. You just need to create and score. And what you see with OKC is they are going to strangle you at all points in the game. So if you have a weak point guard coming off the bench, as soon as he get in the game, they're gonna strangle him. If you have a weak shooting guard, any weakness that you have that other bad teams will try to work around, they just eliminate completely. So I think the only teams who can compete with OKC will be a complete team. And that's why I do like, you mentioned the Clippers. I still like the Clippers as, sleeper dark horse NBA finals competitors. We talked about, at a certain point, it's just not open. That was game 2 for the Clippers with Kawhi.
Yeah.
15 for 19. Nothing was open. Everything was contested. One dribble pull-ups, fades, left shoulder, right shoulder, all bag work. You saw it on both sides of the floor. But I definitely wanted to ask you this just because I was watching the game. Best midi work I've seen maybe since 8, maybe since 24. Like and the one that stood out to me was the one shot clock rolling down. I know you remember this. Shot clock rolling down, they kick it to the top of the key. He catch it with 2 seconds left. Pump fake, one dribble, pull up. Gosh, like everything just looks so easy for Kawhi. So what are you seeing with the way Kawhi is operating in no space in the phone booth?
They said the mid-range was dead, but baby, I'm surely alive. You feel me? You feel me? Like, it brought joy to my heart to watch that. So let me be honest. We 20 minutes in, so my mom ain't listening no more. I enjoyed my 420 more than I should have, y'all. I'm gonna be honest.
Happy Easter, everyone. Happy Easter, everyone.
So let me tell you something. I did what I did. And twin, I felt it the next day. Like,
listen. I also had a great Easter. Listen, that Clippers Nuggets game on Easter, boy. The way them young niggas was hooping, boy. Listen. For the audience don't know, like me and Dave used to play basketball like every day. I ain't hooped in a while. The way them young niggas was hooping, I can't got it no more. Them niggas was too weekend, bro. Like, the game ended like 4. Listen, even Westbrook hitting threes. Like they was just at it, bro.
So I'm telling you, bro. The game was Monday. That's what it was. The game was Monday. So I'm telling you, Monday I woke up and I was like, I don't feel like myself. You know what I mean? That shit lasted all day. I went to bed at 9:45 on Monday and woke up at 8:30 the next day, bro.
No, that's crazy.
I was slumped. So I say all that to say, all I saw when I opened my phone, because I was getting in bed to watch the Clippers game. Like I started, I didn't even finish the Knicks Pistons game. That's how fast I fell asleep. I didn't see 1 second of this Clippers game.
That's so funny.
So I wake up and see 76%, 30-something for Kawhi. I'm like, whoa, I gotta watch this. So shout out YouTube TV. Went back, watched the entire game in the fluidity, because it's one thing to watch the highlights, but seeing the game in the flow of it is different. And just every time they needed something, it was him. Like at the timeliness of these buckets was so impeccable. The clutch factor of these buckets was so impeccable. But it just goes to show that once you can make the mid-range a layup, you become unstoppable. Once you can make the mid-range a layup, you become unstoppable. And Kawhi showed that. And it just leaves you, like everybody did the second the game ended, it just leaves you wondering, like, what if, man? Like, what if he never dealt with these injuries?
No, 1,000%. Kawhi has one of those ceilings where it's like you're really not sure if you're at his ceiling, like at this moment where we're watching.
Exactly.
Like, is this the best Kawhi I've seen? Like, that's probably one of his best playoff games for sure. But just to piggyback up off the Clippers, up 2-1 tonight, blew the doors off Denver, 83-117, up 2-1. Is this it for Jokic? Listen, going into it, I gave him an MVP game. I thought he was gonna be able to steal one. I thought game 1 was that. It was a lot of shots in game 1 that were just crazy on both sides. But I do feel like we talked about it before the show started, but 4 players scoring 20 or 19 plus 2 more in double digits for the Clippers, so 6 players in double digits total. Jokic has still yet to beat a 50-win team in the playoffs. Do you
Woo.
think that says something about his style of play and his ceiling for it?
No. I want to go first to your first question and the Clippers, and then just the Nuggets looking like they're done.
Right.
Remember when we did the show, our playoff preview show, go watch episode 114 and shout out to Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yo, game 1 of this series will be the 4th game their coach has coached in his career.
Yeah.
So I want to take you back to game 2. At the end of game 2, when they got that offensive rebound off of the first missed 3-point shot, and they were down 3, they had 4 seconds left, and their coach got caught watching because he's young. A timeout should have been called, and another play should have been drawn up because 4 seconds is a lot of time to get a quality 3-point shot up.
Yep.
If you have a second timeout, there's almost enough time to get a 2-pointer and then foul again.
Right.
So moments like that lets me know this series is over. Even if Jokic has another MVP game in game 5, this series is ending in 6 at the latest. I thought it was a 7-game series. Denver simply doesn't have enough to do that. And now to Jokic and his style of play, stop comparing to Shaq, please. like, please.
Barry, come to the front. Barry, come to the front.
Like, please stop telling me he's better than Shaquille O'Neal and Hakeem Olajuwon and all. Stop, bro. He is a liability on defense.
Yeah.
That is why you can't win with him, because Steph Curry is no longer a liability on defense, and I hate when people don't know that. But in 2015 and 16, he absolutely was.
Yeah.
But the difference is you can hide Steph Curry because he's a guard. So it's rarely a team that has 5 guys that are just strapped up on a team. And it's even more rare. Guys don't have 4 guys that are strapped up because usually it's a center. So 4 guys usually aren't strapped up. So Steph can usually guard the non-shooter and guard the worst offensive player, and you can hide him. When you play center, you can't hide, bro.
There's no substitute rim protector. I was having this argument with listen, subscriber to the show, friend of the show, shout out my niggas. We was having this Tim Duncan Jokic argument, and it was like, yeah, defense isn't that important for someone like Steph Curry or for a guard because that can be worked around. You can play certain coverages. If you don't have a rim protector, you just don't have a rim protector. There is no other person on the team that's going to pick up that slack for Jokic. And I think once you get in these later rounds where you're going to have to play multiple stars on one team, like a team like the Clippers who's going to collapse your defense 3 different times, you're going to need rim protection and a solid defense. And I think it puts a ceiling on the type of teams they can beat 1,000%. But just looking forward just to another first round matchup.
Hold on, I do want to, because I want to mention, like, just more proof that Jokic is so poor on the defensive side. Jokic had 23, 13, and 13 tonight on 64% shooting and was a minus 20.
Damn.
Like,
minus 20.
Like, bruh, like his defense is costing them, and their team isn't built to survive this type of defensive lackadaisical defense is what I'm trying to say. Sorry. But the last thing I want to say on them before we jump to the Warriors Rockets is I don't want to hear the excuse of he hasn't had the proper team, he hasn't had the proper talent around him, because when he won the championship, it was, oh my God, the Nuggets are so good. They're the best team in basketball. They're finna go back-to-back. Well, Jokic three-peat. Yeah, and now they can't win with the same personnel. Now it's, oh, this team isn't built. They keep trading away all their missing pieces. Look, shawty, Kobe had to deal with role players rotating in and out, but he kept his core and he kept winning. LeBron had to deal with role players rotating in and out on Miami and on Cleveland, but he kept his core together and he kept rolling. Steph, same thing, kept rolling. So if you're great, if you in that echelon, and those are the last three guys that are in that top 10 stratosphere that people keep trying to throw Jokic into. So that's why I'm comparing him to them. If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna be that, he's right there. You see Mike back there.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna be that, you gotta be able to carry your teams through 50-win teams and playoff series you should win.
Yeah,
If
1,000.
Jokic is really who we think he is, he should win this playoff series. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, he is an amazing player, and I still have him as the best player in the world. It's just the best player in the world when LeBron and Kobe was it just isn't what it is right now.
And you mentioned Mike. Mike came back to 5 new role players, and they won 72 games that season. So, listen, like you said, it is that type of, echelon of, listen, whoever it is, that's who it's going to be. So, I think it's gonna be interesting with Jokic. This is gonna be a very interesting offseason with the Knicks, the Bucks, the Nuggets, who's tearing what down, just to hit the Eastern Conference a little bit because we almost have to. Knicks go up 2-1 over Detroit. Close game, could have went either way. How did you feel like that ending worked? How do you feel like that works moving forward for the Pistons?
Like, subscribe, comment. I picked the Pistons to win the series in 7 games. I'm sorry, Barry. The Pistons will not be winning the series in 7 games. They won't be winning the series at all. I really like the Pistons, and they have a bright future. They just are young, and it's very obvious they haven't been in the playoffs when the moments, and it's we'll talk about the T-Wolves maybe next week, but like it's my problem with them. They just don't understand how important certain possessions are. Like every possession in the playoffs is important, but it's some possessions that like you have to get a bucket on, and they just treat it like it's a regular season game 45.
Right.
And that's the issue I'm seeing. And the Knicks are playing like every possession matters, every bucket matters. The Knicks are playing a little bit more physical, and Cat looked great tonight. Brunson looked great tonight. When Cat and Brunson are both at A+, the Pistons don't have enough to combat that, no matter how good Cade is. So I was a little eager. I wanted Cade to really throw himself in that best in the world category, but I'm just a year too early.
Listen, I still think they're still breathing. I still think they're breathing, just because it is Karl-Anthony Towns and it is the Knicks. So
fair.
I just, it's something in the air right now. But you just talked about the Pistons inexperience. The 2 veterans, Tobias Harris, 2 for 9, Malik Beasley, 4 for 14. I love Malik Beasley, one of those guys we always talk about that love to shoot in February. So it's about that time for Malik Beasley to wake back up. Other than that, in the East, we had the Cavs Pride, whoever that was, Boston Fry, whoever that was. Are you worried about Tatum's wrist?
No.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
Boston's so good. They just like, hey, bro, just take the first round off.
Like, yeah, facts.
Like it's
like he was doubtful. Like, should we play him? Like,
he was like, if it was the finals, he would have played. Like,
yeah, literally,
he's fine.
Yeah,
he's fine.
If this game mattered, he played.
Like, exactly, exactly. So to the Warriors and Rockets, and really I think the Warriors are winning that game. And I think they were going up 2-0 just by how I saw the game end and how I saw that the Warriors stay in that when they really shouldn't have with the personnel they had on that court. Mm-hmm. But Jimmy's injury, your reaction?
Heartbreaking. This is one of the series where it's like, man, I really hate how I love physicality up to a certain point because it's hard to control your physicality on someone else's. So with this series being so physical, it's been bodies all over the floor already, and that just gets my spider sense tingling. But
yeah,
it was a like snap back to reality. Oh my God, this is what the Warriors were pre-Jimmy. Like, just like the PTSD of no one but Steph being able to dribble on the team. It was an immediate impact. Like, I'm very happy Jimmy didn't have any structural damage or anything like that, because like it sucked the air out of the room. Like, it was like, oh yeah, it's over without Jimmy. Like, it wasn't even just like the Rockets were just so much better. It was the entire identity of our team was just rebuilt through these 2 players, and one is missing.
Exactly. So prayers for Jimmy. Like you said, I'm glad it's no structural damage. this is a tailbone injury essentially. So this is really nothing you can do with pain management.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we got to let the swelling go down. We got to let it heal. And then after you can run again, it's just wait till it feels good enough for you to play. We'll give you some
Right.
shots, give you some meds, and hopefully you can fight through it.
Mm.
The agent texted the NBA countdown crew and said, uh, pray for the bear. So
Yeah.
who
I mean, that is
knows?
Jimmy Butler too. Like, I
Yes.
mean, like at the end of the day, that is kind of Jimmy Butler. So
So I don't
I,
know.
I was I wasn't sure he wasn't playing in that game. Like, I know he's gonna
You
come
feel
back
me?
after the MRI
Yeah.
and play. Like,
So I expect Jimmy back for game 4, and if he's back for game 4, they still win the series. If he misses next game, I honestly think with them being at home, they can potentially get the momentum behind them. That that physicality that series is at right now is going to take a step back in game 3. I'm telling you that right now.
1,000%. Want that? It has to.
It has to. It is what I love. I
Yeah.
love the low scoring games, the 85 to 95 games, the 85 to 90 games. I
Yeah.
like it. But they're fouling Steph Curry all game. They're
Yeah.
holding him, they're grabbing
Literally.
him, all they're hugging him. Like
They're
it
saying
is
it on national TV that they're not going to
yes.
call a foul. Like,
Yes. So like you have to protect your superstar. And once they call 2 quick fouls, they're gonna back up, and the tone of that series will be changed. And I think that works in the Warriors' favor because they are able to defend without fouling when you have a young team, eager team that has been playing a certain way for 2 games. It's going to be very hard for them to just change that aggression and
right.
tone it back as you're going to need to. So if Jimmy is there for game 3, I still think this is a 5-game series. Like
Yeah.
I said from the beginning, I said that they were going to split. The Rockets at home, the Warriors will win 2. They're 2 at home, and then they will win in game 5. So I still think that happens if Jimmy is back. If he's not back by game 3, game 4, then this is a 6-game series, and it's just that simple. I just X's and O's on the court. To me, it's still too hard for them to score. Even with
Right.
Jalen Green going off like he did and having that superstar moment you said he was going to need to have a couple times to do what they need to do, they just still don't have enough. Fred VanVleet is bad. Amon
Yeah.
Thompson just doesn't provide enough offensively. Shagun and Jalen Green, sorry, football, just can't seem to get on the same page. Like they just can't seem to have a great night both nights. And it's kind of because they both need the ball in their hand for extended periods of time. So it's kind of throwing one of them off rhythm. Draymond did a pretty good job with Shagun last night as well. 2 nights ago as well. So I just think it's too hard for them to score. And when Jimmy gets back, the Warriors offense will get back to what it was in game 1.
Yeah, definitely. I think just to hit the other side, as a person who did pick the Rockets, listen, kind of found money. Is like, is a little fugazi. Jimmy Butler went out. Is the 35 piece real? Listen, in the Rockets locker room, we gotta act like everybody was there. Like, we scored 35 on everybody. Like, we gotta really, hype that up. And for someone who struggled the way he did in the first game, it was good to see him come out super aggressive. Like you said, Fred VanVleet sucks though. I hate Fred VanVleet. I've hated Fred VanVleet since the 2019 finals because I knew all that shit was fake, and he has never done none of that shit again. He's never done none of it again. I hate him so much.
We know the real, twin. We know the real.
Yeah, I can't believe he hit some of them shots.
Yeah. Man. I will. We'll get back to the Warriors and Rockets when we have more information on Jimmy. So let's close out with the Lakers and Wolves. Series tie 1-1. Anybody with the brain knew LeBron and Luka was not going to go down no fucking 2-0.
Yeah, LeBron's never been down 0-2 at home, by the way.
Like, let's be fucking for real, dude.
Yeah.
That was not happening. Yeah. So, your reaction to the game?
Listen, I love one of my favorite things about being right sometimes is people forget what you be right about. So, like, people who pick against Luka every year forget that every game 1, Luka is going to lose no matter what. And they always forget that. So after the first game 1, they're like, see, I told you. It's like, yeah, give it a couple of days, bud. And you saw exactly what I thought you were going to see was game 2, he's going to come out firing, and LeBron is going to be super Draymond. LeBron is going to be super effort, meticulous detail guy, get everybody in the right spot. And somehow, as the oldest player in the league, like we said, he looks like the best athlete on the court with Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards at times. Like he is covering mad ground. He's not moving on box outs. He is pushing. And listen, LeBron does look great, which was a question coming in with his groin and everything. I think if I'm the Lakers, I am kind of glass half full looking at this. Like same thing we mentioned with the Memphis coach. This is, whatever game. The Lakers have played 30, 40 games as this team. So they're still kind of trying to figure it out. But Luka, all-time playoff riser, only two people ever to average 30 in the playoffs. And Luka is one of them. And next to him is somebody who went to 7 straight finals. So I trust them in the late moments. I want you to talk about that because you've been big on Minnesota's decision-making late moment. And you saw this again where it was like, you just looked around like, Jesus, like, I don't know if you saw the clip of JJ Redick, we called timeout. He was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, it feels like no one in Memphis, no one in Minnesota ever looks around like, what are we doing right now? So go ahead. Yeah, talk about that.
Precisely. That game was frustrating because the Lakers weren't great offensively after the first quarter. They had an amazing first quarter. Audience, hello. Just in case you did not know, the Minnesota Timberwolves won the rest of that game.
Yep.
60-70. They won the game. But they let the Lakers get out to such a large lead, they were not able to climb back into it. Why they were not able to climb back into it is because they don't have a point guard. I've been saying it for 3 years. Their coach, one, doesn't regroup them offensively well. He's a good coach and they like him. I was on the board to fire him 2 years ago. I don't think they need to fire him, but I think they need whoever their offensive assistant is, they need to get rid of him and get in a better offensive assistant, and then they need a point guard. Because Anthony Edwards, after you're on a 10-0 run or an 8-0 run and you are about to cut this lead to 9, you have the chance to cut this lead to 7. Your possession shouldn't be come down, swing, three-pointer, go up.
Yeah.
You're 4 for 20 from 3, bro. Literally. Stop shooting. Stop shooting them 16 seconds left on the shot clock. 18 seconds left on the shot clock. We jacking up threes. For what?
Yeah.
So that is the frustrating thing when I watch Minnesota is they have all the talent in the world, but like you said, no one is looking around like, yo, guys, stop tripping. Just relax. Now, Julius Randle played great. I do want to say that. Facts. Julius Randle played great, and he was the reason they stayed in the game for the second and halfway through the third quarter. But Anthony Edwards, for moments like this, you cut it's an 11-point game. You fought your way back. 8-0 run. That possession should be, all right, we're going to get this ball to our point guard, and we're going to get the ball Anthony Edwards mid-post, and we're going to clear this out. As soon as they bring the double, you trail, and you either going to get the ball in the middle, or Anthony, you shoot a pull-up jumper.
Yep.
We're going to get an easy basket, put the ball in our best player hands. What they do is they do the high school shit where you don't really try that hard to get the ball. So you catch the ball at 30 feet, and now you looking, and like he said in this press conference, now you confused because they essentially playing a matchup zone against you.
Yeah.
So you don't know what you're looking at. They got everybody, they got a guy guarding you, and then everybody is standing on free throw line extended and on the block. So you look like you're looking at a 1-2-2.
Yeah, wall.
You got a wall in front of you. And that's because you're not catching the ball on movement. You're not catching the ball in the mid-post. You're not coming off pin downs. You catching the ball at 30 feet, and now you got 10 eyes looking at you. Yeah. And when you guys aren't shooting the ball well, you can't combat that. But it looks like no one's telling Minnesota anything. It's just like, if our three-pointers are falling, then we're going to win and we look great. But if not, fuck it.
Yeah. Listen,
5 for 25 from 3, bro. And
disgusting.
And they still could have won that game. So it's frustrating because they're going to lose this series because of exactly what I'm talking about. And they're going to leave the series so frustrated, and it's going to be so annoying when they do the same thing again next year because they won't get a point guard.
Yeah, no, they have had the same. They're one of the teams that have the same problem for like 3 years. Wish they had like a Ricky Rubio type guys just to get them in and out of sets for sure. Shout out Roby with that. But I did just want to point out for the Lakers, like you mentioned, 34 points in the first quarter, had a 19-point lead, never looked back from there. These are the type of games where we talked about where Luka comes out and beats a team in the first quarter by himself. Like the Timberwolves really never recovered. And just a couple of things like you're just not gonna Jaden McDaniels, you can't be 3 for 11. You just can't be 3 for 11. Mike Conley, 0 for 5. Rudy Gobert, 2 for 5. Like it's just not enough. And I mean, we're not like we mentioned, we're not big efficiency guys, but 10 for 22 with 8 threes tell me you're settling. You're settling. 8 of your 22 shots should not be threes if you are not hitting them. Like 22 shots to score 25 points. Like the problem is the Lakers defense is way too bad for it to be this hard. That is probably the thing that's so frustrating. Is like, even if you get through the Lakers, I don't trust you against any other defense in the West because this might be one of the worst defenses you're going to see, and y'all can't score. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 1 for 6. Dante DiVincenzo, 1 for 4. Like, you're not beating any team like this. No one on the Lakers played well. Even Luka was 9 for 20. Like, you're just the Timberwolves always feel like just almost there, just right, like you're almost, but no, not close enough.
Agree, man. And in closing, man, like it's frustrating because if I'm watching this and saying the same thing for 2 and 3 years, like, what are y'all doing in the offseason?
What are you doing?
What are you looking at in these games? Like, I get you guys are getting close, but you haven't won anything. So, like, do you just keep on getting close, or do you want to improve your team? Do you want to improve your roster? Because you have the personnel to make this hard on the Lakers, to make it struggle. The Lakers just score 100 points. Like, you clearly have the personnel to guard the Lakers to make Luka frustrated. I don't even think Rudy Gobert was that bad on the switches yesterday, especially in the second half. He was not bad. He looks clumsy, so it looks silly, but like he gets the job done. So the problem with Rudy Gobert is actually offensively. He's too big to let Dorian Finney-Smith guard him. And it's like, it doesn't have to be, I got to throw it to you in the post and I need you to do a post move. That's not something you want your possession ending on. But we should be able to run a pick and roll and you be a lob threat to the point where they either have to go big and it makes them uncomfortable, or you just keep dominating them inside. And that was one of my keys to the series was, can Rudy Gobert have 2 20 and 15 games where he just puts so much pressure on the rim? And right now it can't. And lastly, Dante DiVincenzo and Naz Reid getting in foul trouble did drastically change this game. 100%. So I do want to keep that into mind. The Timberwolves have one of the best home court advantages in the league, and I do think it's going to come out way more aggressive, and it's going to have a big game 3, and I honestly do expect them to take a 2-1 lead this weekend.
I do just wanted to point out, because you did mention Rudy Gobert, I had this stat for you: 1 offensive rebound the entire game. Mike Conley had 3.
That's horrific.
He had 1 offensive rebound the entire game, finished with 6 rebounds for the game. Type of stuff that will make you pull your hair out. Rudy Gobert has 6 rebounds. LeBron has 11. I know who my GOAT is. But
and Anthony Edwards has 0 assists, which is a problem.
0 assists. That is definitely facts. 3 players in the listen. Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, and Jaden McDaniels did not have an assist. Like I got.
That's
do I put that
on?
Defense, like I can't put that all on Mike Conley. Like a lot, and like what you said about Rudy Gobert, it's just there are so many times on offense where the dunker spot is a dunker spot for a reason. Not being able to catch, keep it high, and dunk the ball at this point in your career is so handicapping for him on offense that it's like he has anti-gravity in a way, where it's like the ball's repelled away from him. Like they don't want to put him in good positions because no one, including himself, trusts him to catch the ball. But I definitely agree. Game 3 has potential for an all-timer because I think both teams really think they need game 3. I think LA feels like they should have went up 2-0 from the beginning and helped home court. So I think Luka and LeBron come out swinging. I think it'll really depend on X factor, Luka Doncic, 5-time All-NBA player. X factor Luka Doncic, is he going to be able to step up and compete with the best players? But yeah, no, shout out to y'all for that. Did you have anything else? Because I had one more.
Not on basketball. So yeah, if
Yeah,
it's
no,
basketball, yeah.
yeah, no, not
Okay.
on basketball.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
GNX week.
Oh
GNX week. Listen,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
comment, subscribe, send this show to as many people as y'all need to. We did listen, we not there. We not getting these per diem like people not get. We are buying these tickets like regular people. We will listen. The show about nothing will be in attendance at the Atlanta GNX Tour Festival. I was texting Daniel. I've never been to a stadium music show of
Mm-hmm.
any type. Like, so I'm
Right.
this is gonna be the first one I'm super excited about that. But have you seen the videos online? Have you seen any of the stuff? Like, what are your expectations? What do you hope to hear?
No, I haven't looked at anything, bro. I actually was
Okay.
like, I'm gonna keep this a secret because like I I'm not the biggest like concert spoil. Like I don't really care that much, but this is so special to me. I actually did just want to go into this as with a blind eye.
Mhm.
I did. Did you see anything? Have you been looking?
Yeah, so I've
Okay.
been definitely keeping up with the song. I watched one of the show. I watched the
Okay.
first show to like see what it was like, just because like like I said, I've never been to a stadium
Hmm.
show, and where we are, I was trying to see. It's crazy because listen, took the whole day off, to the day off before, day off. Like I was trying to see like where was he performing certain songs so I
Hmm.
could make sure we was there. So I was trying to figure out where I'm gonna sit and stuff like that.
Nice,
But
nice, nice.
from what I've seen, I mean, fucking looks crazy. Look, already from one show, the highest broke the record for highest selling rap concert ever from the first date. He's gonna break that a couple more times. It's 39 dates, so it's probably gonna break the record for largest grossing hip hop tour. And aside from just like, of course, the regular concert stuff, I was like, man, I gotta learn some more scissor lyrics. I gotta learn some more scissor lyrics because I've noticed. I forget who. I think Grace was asking me like what the songs were, and I knew the songs, but I didn't know the song titles. Like
Hmm.
SZA
Hmm.
weird. So like I'm looking at the visual. I'm like I'm trying to
Uh-huh.
figure out what the song name is. Like yeah, so I definitely got to brush up on SZA titles. But from what I've seen from just the stuff so far, man, I love rap music. I love rap music, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm really excited. I saw a couple songs. The songs, like the four main songs I wanted to see perform, are being performed. So I've been listening to Kendrick all week. I'm very
Oh yeah.
excited. I just expect a wonderful night. I expect this to be one of the five best concerts I've ever been to. So I'm setting very high expectations for this. What you know me, I actually don't ever do that. I'm kind of like go into no expectations, just enjoy it and
Right.
walk out of there like I appreciate the experience. But like this, like I'm excited for, man. I am
Yeah.
excited for it because I do think we're watching two perennial goats in their heyday, like in their prime. So this
Yeah.
is prime Kendrick Lamar. He's one of the gonna go down as one of the six greatest rappers ever, and this is
Mhm.
SZA in her prime, who's gonna go down as one of the 10 greatest R&B singers ever, female
Right.
wise, at least at a minimum. Well, might be, probably will be
Yeah.
higher. So
She's one for this era for sure.
she's easily one for this era. So
Yeah.
she's only being compared to the past now. It's no one from
Yeah.
this era you're really comparing her to. Like she is
Mhm.
everything she is chalked up to be, and I'm excited to see her perform. I've heard good things about her performances. I've heard great things about Kendrick performances. So just all around, I'm excited to see like just the visuals, the electricity, and I'm excited when like that comes on to hear that building shake. I cannot
Oh
wait.
my
I
god! So I
cannot
wanted
wait.
to ask, what were you mentioned four of the songs? What were the four songs you wanted to hear?
Like that, Euphoria, Mad City, and Element.
That's a solid. Listen, that is like since the moment like that dropped. And shout out to Grace and her reaction. I did a reaction, get started on them. But since like that has come out, it has been no doubt one of my favorite rap songs ever.
Ever.
Hearing that live, well, listen, I'd have bought the ticket just to hear that.
I
Just
heard
to
it at
hear
the
that.
Future concert, remember? So I heard it.
Man.
I've heard it live, but
Yeah.
Future didn't perform it first
Yeah.
off. Future was doing karaoke, and he didn't play Kendrick's verse. So I
Yeah.
haven't heard Kendrick's verse live for real yet.
Yeah.
So
That's what I
I'm
need to hear.
really excited. I'm excited to see how he builds this up,
Yeah.
like how these songs blend out. And another song I didn't need to know. I knew they were performing this, but I'm really excited for All the Stars. I love that song. I
Oh yeah.
love All the Stars. I
One
love All the
thousand
Stars.
percent. Diamond Boy from SZA. That's one of my favorite songs. But
Yes.
of
Yeah.
course, I'm gonna be the basic guy. Listen, that first Euphoria drop, like I don't like you popping shit at first. Like I want the like the building for that shit is going to be shaking, bro. Super excited about it. Probably go buy a bunch of merch. Like you said, it feels like we're going to history. Like I'm gonna be buying shit, so I'm gonna show it to my kids in 20 years. Like I'm gonna buy like
type
a little
shit.
set list or something. I'm gonna have. I think we should have like see people sign a bunch of stuff. We're gonna put it on the wall behind us, like just from the tour, like some of the tiles or something. But
That's a good
definitely
ass
figure
idea.
it out. But yeah, next time we come on the show, we will have the first-hand GNX experience for you. So
For sure. I'm very excited to do that review. Definitely had Nelson come on for that. Um,
yeah,
so the last thing I do want to say is Thug just dropped the song. Like I said, this is 1:40 in the morning, so I've heard Thug's song a couple of times.
yeah.
Now my boy is back. I'm very excited for his album. I do not know what the title is. I don't know what the words say. So so I'm not
It's,
gonna try to say it.
it's
Yeah, I'm not saying that ish. Okay, I'm not gonna say that together.
you can't duck the vamp life forever. You can't duck the vamp life forever. Because you
so
listen, you know that Cardi Thug next. You know Cardi Thug next.
I know it's coming. But
Yeah.
man, it is crazy. Future, I love you, dog. You the
Yeah, that
greatest,
future
man.
verse is nuts.
That beat switch came on. Good God Almighty,
She
like
don't got an AP. She is not mine, nigga.
that's cold.
Yeah,
Shout out to
iconic.
my dogs, man. Shout out to
That's
my
a
dogs.
fact.
So, y'all go get that in your phones. Money on money. That is all I have though. You have a great night. Get some rest. Um, I appreciate you guys watching. This has been the show about nothing, episode 115. You got anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, man. Y'all be safe. In a world full of hate, let your light be love. In the industry full of haters, we some one of ones. Boom.
Facts.
Show about nothing.